Hey everybody, this is Kia of Megazone Music, and I am actually here today to show you a DIY that I saw from Chrisfix, and it's how to clean your headlights permanently using really simple steps and a great solution that I saw. I'm going to try it with my car. I have a 97 Toyota Camry, and if you look at the headlights, look at my headlights. Look at the oxidation on here. Look at the yellowing. A lot of times when I put the headlights on, I can't even tell the headlights are on because it's so damaged. I mean, in terms of brightness or anything, I can't even tell. I mean, look at that. You can see how dim the headlights are. So, with all of those steps that Chris Fix had, I'm going to give it a shot. Okay, here I go. Okay, here are my tools. Got my paper towels, got my painter's tape, I've got my 400 and 600 sandpaper, got my 2000 sandpaper, if I can pronounce it, and I've got my scissors, and I've got the Rust-Oleum clear, and I got it to make sure it's fast drying, non-yellowing, and UV resistant. Okay, so I should be all set. And I also have my spray bottle, and on top of my car, I have my water. All right, let's get started. Okay, I am ready for the first step. The first step is actually get your painter's tape, and I'm going to paint along the perimeter of the headlight, and that'll prevent all of the I guess the spraying and the dust and everything from getting into the light after I finish polishing it off with the 400 and 600 grit. So I will see you in a bit. Okay, mission accomplished. I've got my painter's tape around the exterior of the light, and now I am actually ready to start on my 400 grit because these lights are really dingy and I think I need the strongest setting there. Okay. Okay, this is really hard to do with only one hand, so I'll sort of explain what I'm going to be doing. I've got my water. I'm going to be wetting this. I'm going to wet the sandpaper, and after I wet both, I'm going to start my my rub, and then I will come back to you and let you know how it goes. Okay? And I'll let you see after my first layer, which is the 400 grit. Alrighty, I just finished with the 400 grit, and after the circular motion, I started to do the horizontal motion, and it might be still a little wet, but if you can take a look really close, all you can see are the horizontal scratches that I put in intentionally, and that is actually what Chrisfix wanted. You want to see the horizontal lines. Nice. So I've got the horizontal lines. It's looking pretty good. Okay, now I'm ready for the 600 grit, which I will actually do the same thing, the circular motion and the wet and getting it wet and the 600 grit. And after I do that, I will report back and let you see how it is. Okay, if you look, you can actually see the haziness that I created with the 400 grit. Now my next step is actually going to be the 600 grit. If you can see that, it's hard for me to do this outside, but I've got the 600 grit, and with that I'm going to press a little harder, and I'm going to get a little bit more of this haziness on my lights. So here we go with the 600. Okay, as you can see, look how hazy my lights are. See that? See how hazy they are? This is still a little wet. That's why you see a little mountain peak and stuff over there. I know it's kind of hard with the sun beaming right at me, but this is the 600 grit, and now the next step for the 600 grit is the horizontal motion with the 600, which I will do right now. Okay, everybody. I just finished doing my 600 grit, and I sprayed the headlights, and I used a paper towel and I wiped it down. It's still getting a little bit dry there, but I wiped it down. Look at the haziness on the headlights. It's really hazy. And now I am ready for my final step of using the sandpaper. The grit is the 2000 sand grit, which is the really, really fine grit, as Chrisfix said. And I'm going to use that and get to my next step, which is the clear gloss. So here we go. Okay, everybody, I don't know if you can see that. There it is. I'll get a little sun in there. This is my 2000 grit. Well, I cut it so it's hard to see, but this is my 2000. And I am going to start my 2000. Before I start my 2000, look at the haziness now. I know Chris said it would be really hazy. So now I'm ready to do the wet circular motion with my 2000. Okay. Okay, for our next step, which is something that I didn't mention, or that I didn't have in the car, is alcohol. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get some rubbing alcohol, and I'm going to wipe this down in case there's any more residue from the scratches or any kind of dirt and everything, just like Chris Fix said. And then we'll get it in there and let it dry, and then I'll get a plastic bag, put it over the car, and I will be ready for my next step. Okay. Okay, now that I have my alcohol and I have a lint-free cloth, which is a microfiber cloth that I have here, and I will be ready to wipe down my headlights. Okay, here we go. Okay, everybody, now that I have my plastic on the car, the next step is to cut a hole in here and then use the Rust-Oleum clear tape, clear coat. Okay, I will get back to you in a second. Okay, everybody, now that I have my headlight cut out, I'm ready for the final step, which is the Rust-Oleum Gloss Clear, the UV protectant, and non-yellowing and quick drying. Okay, and I will try to bring you in on that process. Okay, everybody, what I did was I did the very first layer. I did what Chris Fix did. I didn't do a thick layer. I just took my Rust-Oleum and I just kind of did a spray, quick spray this way, quick spray, quick spray, quick spray, quick spray. And then I have to let this sit for about 5 minutes before I put on a second layer. But right now, even right now, look at that. Look at how clear it is. I can't wait till this is done. I can't wait. Okay, everybody, it's been about 5 minutes, so I'm about to spray coat number 2. This is really, really amazing, and you'll see when this is all done. And we are ready to put on the second coat. And remember, it's just a light dab. And here we go. Try to keep this steady. Not thick. Get the top there. That's all you need. And I'm just going to get a little bit on the bottom there. Yep, that is it. Don't want to go too thick. And we'll let that sit for another 5 minutes, and then we'll put the third layer on. Okay, everyone, if you can look right around here, I think I might have sprayed a little too much on, because I can see there's like a little teardrop shape right there, right in there, right here. So this just means that after I do the third layer, and then I'll let it sit for 24 hours, and then I'll have to take the 2000 grit and go over it again with the 2000 grit and perhaps put another layer on to get that little teardrop shape out. Don't know if you can see that little teardrop shape. Yep, there it is. You can see it right there. So I put a little too much on, so I'll have to use the 2000 grit later on after 24 hours. Let this set, do another coat, and then we'll take it from there. I want you to see the difference between the two headlights. You see this one right over here? Look at the yellowing. You see how much oxidation and yellowing is on there? And when I come over here, this is the Chrisfix version. Look how shiny that is. Now compare and contrast both of them. That is pretty amazing. I am actually going to get started on my second light. Okay, everybody, now without the sun blaring and glaring and everything, all those other ing words, let's take a look at the car right now. Look at the difference. You look at the difference. It is like night and day between the Chrisfix version and what it turned into, which was this one. So, as you can see, it looks really, really awesome. Kudos to you, Chrisfix. This is so awesome. I'm going to totally use your methods for all other stuff. And this is Kia, Megazone Music. I am out of here. Two, one, go. And now that I am at the Church of the Resurrection here, I'm going to do a little test to see my headlights. And my headlights, this is the bright one, and this one is the sort of yellowish one. I still think that I need to do some more work to get that sort of like glass polish finish, but from over here they kind of look the same. Maybe I have to kind of like not do that. Anyway, I'll try again.